Peace, 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 everybody. Welcome to an absolute special edition of Royalty with Saran. As you can tell, I'm super excited about this episode. It's always been an intention of mine to pool as many women in different fields, different expertise together so that we can share information with our people. And that's what we have today, Queen Tings. So, I know y'all probably wondering, where's everybody else? I said to myself, y'all can handle all of that chocolate at once. So I'm going to bring them in one at a time so you can get to know a little about them and then we get started. Okay, so for those who don't know who I am and what I do, I am Saran Davis. I am the owner of the Wellness Queens. At the Wellness Queens, what we focus on vagina health with our line My Her Box. We also do the men's version of that box, which is woodwork. I am also the the mind behind Plant Power Detox, which is a huge part of what we do, where we offer different detox products. We also offer a 14-day detox challenge that is very popular and very effective for different purposes. Okay, and apart from that, I am also the artist behind Wadadley Gemini, where I create handmade jewelry and art, and also Bush and Roots, which is the section of the business that kind of does neem oils and all your different oils and different hair products and things like that. So anyhow, enough about me. I'm going to bring my sisters in one at a time, and we're going to start with Empress Nadine, who is the owner and proprietor of Empress Yoni Love. She specializes in yoni and anal steaming services. She also does enemas. She also makes herbal tonics and tinctures. And let's get ready to welcome her. Greetings, Queen.
Peace and blessings.
Yes, how are you?
I am well. I am well.
Good well. Stuff. So we're gonna move on to the third queen, third queen, which is Lioness Genosha. Genosha now, I have a special place in my heart for her because, as I mentioned earlier, I am the person behind Plant Power Detox, and as a part of what we do, movement is critical. And so Genosha is actually our aerobic teacher. When I tell you she fire people. She fire. She is an aerobic teacher. She's also a choreographer and a dancer. And she is also the owner of Main Styles by Jay, which is her hair company. Let's welcome to the stage, Genosha. Peace. We can hardly hear you. Turn up.
Peace. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Peace, Queen. How are you doing?
Great. I'm great. I'm blessed.
Okay. Good stuff. So let's move right along and let's move into our next queen, which is Queen Ashanti. She is the owner and operator of Guilty Consumptions, plural. And now she has announced that she has gone fully plant-based with her business, which means all of us can patronize and have a good time. She is a natural health enthusiast, and she will tell us a lot more of the changes that are about to take place with her and with her business as we go along. Okay, so let's welcome Ashanti.
Hi, thanks for having me. Peace, please.
Peace. You good?
Yes, I'm great.
Yes, good stuff. And definitely last but not least, we have Empress Shanique. Shanique is a personal trainer, and she's also one of the queens who have joined Genosha on our aerobic workout. And let me tell you, pull-up bar, sister not playing with no pull-up bar, right? The stunts that my girl can do on the pull-up, mad prop. She's a personal trainer, and she is a health and wellness enthusiast, and she's also the owner of Cocoa Juice, which specializes in sea moss products. She does other natural products as well. So let's round out the five with Impressionique.
Hello.
Hi. I
Howdy.
tell them too much melanin for one screen, just boom. So here we go. I think that we can saturate it a little bit more now. So blessings, everybody. Thank you for joining Royalty with Saran. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
So let's start. Like I said before, it's going to be very free flowing. We're going to move very organically, not much structure. I have quite a few questions and a few topics that I've gotten from persons in advance, and we'll just go. We'll just go take our time and flow with it because that's what the divine feminine woman does. Okay. And so anyhow, tell us about your business. If anybody can start, just a little about your business and what inspired you to start.
I guess I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
When I started guilty consumption, that was 7+ years ago, and I was basically broke and wanted to find another way to make some money. And then this just turned out to be me selling little cupcakes to people, and it just blew up. I've reached the point of creating networks, having my cakes in store. A lot of persons know me from having my cheesecakes in store. Um, and then I went on to be a Wildlife Fellow in 2021, which is with the U.S. Embassy. And I went on to win in about 2 grants with the UNDP and UV. And, it's been a big thing with just a small, in my mind at the time, it wasn't a big deal, cake business. So um, um, now that as you announced for me that I'm going plant-based because it's been 2 years I've been transitioning from animal products to plant-based, and I felt a bit guilty. I'm plant-based, I'm living a good, healthy life, and then I think we're having a phone ring. Yeah, I'm living a healthy life, and then people are like, but you look so good, and you just have us over here getting fat. So I was like, oh, a major guilt. So I was like, you know what? There's not much as a vegan um, options. And people always have this idea that vegan is pretty boring, or it's not, it's bland, or just ITL alone. Not knowing that you can basically do anything with plant-based. So, of course, Ashanti takes up the challenge of, let me bring this idea to people here. So it's a big leap of faith. I literally left everything that I've been doing for 7 years and saying, let me try this now. So I launched tomorrow. I've only started doing with breakfast because I know we don't really have breakfast. That's one challenge I have. I don't know about you girls.
Yeah, that's very
It's
true.
really hard to get vegan breakfast besides the one guy in Bond. So it's like, where do you go?
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just do that because that's a problem. So I start from tomorrow, and I'm actually very excited to do this.
Okay, perfect. Great. But I have no doubt that it's going to be successful because, like you said, it is difficult finding options in the morning. And you're right, Ras Mike, that's it.
That's it.
There's nobody except for him.
Yeah.
So, who wants to go next?
I'll go. Yeah. So, as the queen welcome me, I am the owner of Cocoa Juice. And how I got into CMOS is that I had a lot of digestive issues growing up, and I heard about CMOS. And I like to look at myself as a health and wellness influencer, an enthusiast. So I was posting about it a lot. And I used to live in the States, and a lot of people from the States would ask me. So I took it up there one time, sold off in 2 seconds. And I was like, okay, let me go a little bit bigger, sold off in like 7 seconds. And then I went really big the third time, and I never turned back. And that was after COVID. So I started in 2020. And because I got fired from my job, and I just decided, let me go all out. And it's been a great decision. So CMOS really has literally changed my life, along with herbs, because I also make I make tea bags and all these different herbs, and people will come to me and ask me for certain things, and I whip up things because it saved me. So I am a firm believer that I was put on this earth to heal, through movement, through even the way I speak, and through what I had to offer from going through my own experience with health and wellness.
Right. Okay, beautiful. Very, very similar. In terms of what we do very similar work. So, Proximo, next.
I'll go next. All right, so I am Empress Nadine, and I am the owner of Empress Yoni Love. Empress Yoni Love started in 2020 during the pandemic. I was basically transitioning from the other world into vegan world. I was basically vegan for since 2018, and with the changes that I saw, I really really loved it. I know and saw the power of the herbs and the healing that it gives. And growing up as a child, I often had horrible menstrual cycle. And when I learned about the yoni steam, I was like, why not? I know what it's like to be suffering. So why not help the queens? And I went for it. And here I am today.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, we're gonna definitely talk about yoni steaming because there's a lot that we can say in terms of the benefit and the history of it and things like that. Queen, it's you, baby.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Janosha or Joe Lioness. I am the owner of Main Styles by Jay. I'm a certified braider. I love taking care of natural hair. That's what I do. I love, braiding classic styles. I love classic box braids, classic cornrows, but, modern day styles. I got you. Don't worry. I am also a dancer at heart from birth. I've been teaching dance throughout my life, throughout my school life. I was in different dance groups. Just that was all I cared about. That was all I cared about. If I was ever zoned out, I'm making up a dance in my head or something. And that was something that just brought me peace and happiness. So it was just natural for me to say, okay, well, this has to be a skill I was blessed with, a talent I was blessed with. I have to share it with whoever wants to learn with me. And I am also the dance aerobics. I just don't like to say soap aerobics, dance aerobics, because every genre is my genre. I teach with the detoxers from Saran's group, and let me tell you, these ladies come out, and when I tell you, I give them that energy, not with my words, but with my movements. I'm a leader by my movements, and I'm a big promoter on, natural way of living, just like all these ladies are promoting herbs and everything that the creator provided us with in nature. So yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Yes, queen. And like I said, people, it's not no play aerobic class. For those who have never attended her classes, please do God bless you. Come on out. It's at the stadium, and right now she herself and Shanique, and when the two of them together, it's like it was bad before, but let me tell you, it's next level with the two of them partnering together. At the stadium, Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:30. If you need more information, any of us would be able to provide the flyer. Okay, so that's that. So we know all about the businesses and that type of thing now. Random question: 2 words to describe you. As effective as possible. 2 single words. And I'll try to remember to answer the same questions because, yes, yeah. So let's go. 2 words.
Energetic and caring.
Energetic and caring. Let's go.
I'm nurturing and warish.
Wait. Both y'all are together. Go again.
Queen, go ahead, Queen.
I'm nurturing and warish.
Nurturing and warish. All right then. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Mm. So I would say I'm spicy and juicy.
Spicy and juicy, and that's her tagline, people.
Yes.
Everything with the juice is juicy. All right, Janosha, what you got?
I have strong and nurturing also.
All right. Very, very good stuff. Good stuff. For me, hmm, I actually have the questions for y'all, but never thought of them.
Yeah.
So for me, I would have to go with I'm talented and I'm also grounded. So those would be my two words. All right. So we've talked about the words that describe you. So today, I know part of the conversation will be about nurturing the divine feminine inside of all of us. When you hear the words divine feminine, what comes to mind for everybody? And just one moment, somebody did ask in the Zoom chat if you do locks. Yes. Yes, right? Janosha? Ooh, you're
Yeah.
muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm now beginning to. I'm
Okay,
not.
okay. Yes. So Samantha, you can come through. Okay. So yes, what comes to mind when you think about the divine feminine, or when you think of yourself as from the side of you, the essence of womanhood? What comes to mind?
So
Anybody?
People. I
yeah,
think start
I bring it back to history. Oh, sorry.
No, I was saying
Okay.
that's around. You're supposed to randomly pick us because then we end up
Oh, okay.
picking
I really
first.
should. Okay,
That's
so
Yeah.
let's go. Shanique, tell us what comes to mind for you.
So I go back to history before colonizers, before we were brainwashed away from what we were naturally supposed to do on this earth. I know that women, especially black women, were the most powerful thing on this earth. Like we are responsible for everything. And that's how I look at us. When I hear divine feminine, I feel this us at our highest vibration, us naturally where we're supposed to be, that nurturing, that softness, that I would even the lioness, the power that is held by a black woman, of royalty, of gold. I think of riches. Just think of this is our highest vibration, our most luscious, our this is us being at our best, our divine feminine, because this is what's meant for us, and we take it back from all the other things that have been brought in between us to take us away from our divine.
Ah, love it, love it, love it. You like you took that from out of my soul. Very, very good.
I try.
Um, does anybody else want to add? And if not, go ahead.
Yes, I think of the emotional side of us, the vulnerable side of us, the side that we don't present to the world, uh, the side of us that has a lot to do with self love and the way that we nurture our spirit and soul and really dig within ourselves. That is very important when the divine feminine, to take time to go within yourself and heal your heart and just take care of you. Yeah.
Ah, love it. Okay, now, and especially
I'll
with
try.
that
I'll
being
try with
said,
mine. I have one to add to you guys.
okay,
Um, when I think about divine feminine, I think
can you
of
turn up a little bit more?
my mic.
Actually,
You hear my mic? I'm probably gonna have to put it right next to my mouth. Is this better?
yeah, that's better.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Technology. Um, yes. So when I think about divine feminine, I think of soft power. Um, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than. It's not just feminine, or as we would say, women. It's in everything. It's in the trees, like any big job that creates the earth, such as birds. And birds, I mean, the biggest jobs or like majestic trees, you don't really hear it growing. When a baby is growing, you don't hear it growing. So when you think about feminine power, it is divine feminine, it's soft power, and it's within everything and all of us. And that's what I think of divine feminine.
I agree.
Oh, love it, love it. So now, with that being said, I completely agree. With that being said, how do we reconcile it against the popular notion of the boss chick, of the independent woman, of the I got this by myself? I don't need a man. I don't need a king. I got this. I can do it all by my lonesome. How? What are the thoughts on that one?
I can go.
Yes, and be loud and clear with it.
Because I'm very, 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 very active when it comes to this conversation. So we have divine feminine and then we have feminists. And I'm not with me personally, this is my opinion. I'm not with the feminist movement, because then going back to what divine feminine is, it's all within us. And if it is that we are aligning ourselves to something that separates, then it is not what the divine feminine is. It is unhealed feminine energy. So how who are we as women to look at men and anything that is not quote unquote perfect and label it as we're better than it? You know, we don't need it. Rather than our truest feminine nature is to heal, to nurture, to basically grow. It's like you and a plant. You know it is to grow a garden. If it is that you don't know what this plant needs, then how can you help it grow?
Yeah.
And to be feminine is to be the gardener, to help it grow, to accept where it is and to assist, not to force, because as feminine, energy, we don't force. And when a woman looks to me and say, I don't need a man, why? Why don't you need a man?
I
Why?
hear
Like,
that.
do you know how beautiful it is to have a man that matches your energy? Do you know how nice it is for me to see a cockroach as simple as this and be like, boom, go get that for me? Like, it's just us misunderstanding. And that's just what it is. It's a misunderstanding. And you have to forgive the women that are misunderstanding what it is to be truly feminine and to be in their power. And if a woman is chastising a man and then putting herself up on a pedestal and saying, I'm better than a man, then she is no better than the man or the men that we had before time that oppressed the women. So what is the change that we're actually trying to make here? And it really goes with unhealed feminine energy. Y'all see how I'm passionate
Look,
about this, yeah?
Hello.
look, stop.
But Sarah, let me just add to that. I mean, females is supposed to bring balance. And when a woman's gonna walk around, oh, I don't need a man, there's no balance there. You can't have anything without a man. We need them. So we gotta bring that balance as females.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Can I, coming from I used to be very, very masculine. Like when I tell you I used to be so masculine because I came from a single mother who came from a single mother who came from a single mother. And when I see my mother, I love my mother so much. I wanted to like kind of be her man because I had no brother. So it was just like I was always used to playing this role and I liked it. I liked to provide, but then I like to provide when it came to like my friends and stuff like that. But I was having problems dating because I'm like, why doesn't anybody want to provide for me? And then I just came this notion where it's just like, you know what? Fine, I'm not gonna stress myself. I'll just do it by myself out of frustration. And it's just like I want it. But you know how I got to be feminine? I had to heal. I had to sit down and look at my relationship with my father. I had to sit down and look at my relationships with my uncles. I had to sit and really go over the trauma that I went through in my life for me to realize that I really don't want to do this. I don't want to take the garbage out. You understand? I don't want to do that. I don't want to always have to drive. I don't always want to provide. I don't want to do that. That it's tiring. And I would rather just sit down and look pretty. You know what I mean? So, and not look, because it's more than looking pretty, as we know.
Yeah.
I want to
get it.
maintain my children. You understand? So it's just
Yeah.
a lot of times you hear women who are in the feminist movement saying, "I'm here to take my power back," but the power lies within us. We just need to rediscover it, and then once we rediscover it, we realize that all we need to do is exude the power. It's not about taking it back. It never belonged to anybody else but us, because without a black woman, there would be nobody. So once you realize that, and once you heal from all the men that have done you wrong, it's just like, okay, please, please, because I just want to be baby. When I have to be strong for everybody and hold the balance of the household, I want to be able to come to you and be soft and be babied, and it feels incredible. And anybody who
Amazing.
has that,
I have it. I have it.
you yeah, anybody who hasn't
I
experienced
know.
that, I suggest they heal and experience it. It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
well,
liberating. It's liberating.
It is.
yeah, it really is. And when we go on social media, there's so much push for that narrative, so much. And
Yes.
every time, and I'm looking at it as a celibate woman, and I'm looking at it and I'm just mystified, because the idea that there's wholesomeness or there's oneness within self, when you're just, oh, I got this all by myself. We weren't made to carry all them bags by ourselves. That's just what it is. And I'm always reminded of our natural position as women, being magnetic. Men are electric, and that's a real thing. As much as we can, we go and get education, when we go and aspire, and do this and that, our nature still exists.
Yeah.
And that magnetism that we have, like Ashanti said, that soft power, and oftentimes when we think about being in our divine feminine, we tend to think it's powerless. We often mistake it for being powerless and just having the man with the power. And that's so far from the truth. When we understand that soft power, right? As women, we would realize that there's really nothing that we can't do, nothing that we
Okay.
can't get,
And
nothing,
let me
when we
interject,
really
Sarah.
exercise that muscle.
What we
Let
say
me interject
goes.
here. So they have females that will be saying, "Oh, I'm not going to submit to any man." They have submission as I guess they're still in their slave mentality. So you think submission is like you're gonna be on the floor kneeling to the man and he have his foot in your face kind of thing. But they don't even realize submission. When you submit to your man, you get that man to be in his masculine self to do the things that he's supposed to do as a king.
Soft power.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Soft power, the essence of it, man. Very,
Yeah.
very
What you said
true.
is
Very, very
beautiful. That
true.
is true.
It's almost
Women,
like
women
a
get
Jedi
men.
game.
What you, what you
You
said
get
just now.
them to
Women
do
get
what you
men
need them to
to
do.
do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I will say is that there is a problem right now where there is an imbalance,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of feminine men. And
Ooh,
if
yeah.
you want to grow with a feminine man, if you want to, because me, that this goes back to the submission. I will not submit to a feminine man because I might as well be with a woman. You understand? So as long as you lead me correctly, I will submit to you, of course.
Hello.
Not,
She wanted to add something.
huh?
You
Yeah. Yeah, just agreeing with everything also, that because there is an imbalance, there is no masculine within their lives, that changes a lot of the emotional aspects. So they feel as though, okay, let me do this because I don't have a good man, let me do everything on my own. But then when they don't, or when they're not accustomed to having that balance, when are they gonna think, okay, let me give someone a chance to come and clean this out of my house or cut my yard or whatever. A lot of women just have the emotional imbalance, and that is what sort of gives them that anger, that fire behind men who
Yes.
who they think can't do what they need them to.
Mhm. And man, I love it. I love it. And when you look at social media again, you wouldn't think that there are a lot of women who share this opinion. And look at Five Queens. I didn't know that we would all agree, but we're all, we're singing from the same book. I just think that history had forced women to muscle up their masculine energy
Yes.
Yeah.
because of the absence of a man. Because we don't even need to go through the details of the past to recognize that it was almost a must at some point in time. However, we do have a choice now. We do have a choice. And I think whenever we get up as women and the dominant force in us is our masculine energy, I think we do ourselves a disservice, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
We do ourselves a disservice. And this empowerment, I got this, it's so much of a paradox to me. There's truly no balance in it. And if we don't have balance as women, as magnetic beings, we're always going to be lopsided.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I love that. Ooh, we got to do something else on. So let me move on to the next one. The next question is, how do you nurture your divine feminine? And just for the record, people, Zoom people not playing, they're commenting. One of them say, hello, I need my king. I need my king, man. And I can agree. Let me see what else is in there. Okay, there's a question coming in now. But yeah, so the next, like I said, the question is, how do you nurture your divine feminine?
Ooh, you pick. Remember, you're supposed to pick line.
Huh?
Remember, you're supposed to pick people.
Oh yes. So Nate Empress Nadine, how do you nurture your feminine energy?
Ah, me, I do a lot of self care, a lot of me time that I just checking with myself. And I love doing that while I'm on my steam throne. No better place than to check in.
Live.
Yes, live, live, live. So I'm taking care of the womb. I'm checking in. Hey, you need to check yourself. That wasn't too divine the other day. So that's how I do a lot of self care. A lot of that.
That I love it, love it. Janosha, how do you nurture that energy?
I spend a lot of time with myself. Try to spend a lot of time with myself. And when I do, I just go within and I just think back on, the ways that I need to heal, things that I need to, um, just grow with. Um, and, just trying to give as much love as I can allow myself to, which is a lot. Just giving love. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the ironic thing about the question, it has that word nurture in it. How do we nurture the feminine energy or the divine feminine, which is in essence a nurturing energy to begin with. So I know for me, I foster that within myself by being a nurturer. I nurture those around me. In my business, that's what I do. I nurture myself, and that's really how I empower that energy within me. And I always check myself, like things that you tune in. I check myself to realize whether I'm operating from that space or not. Because there are times, and I'll tell anybody, as much as I'm the divine feminine type thing, I do recognize there are times when the energy needs to shift to that masculine energy. There are going to be times when confrontations are a must. Limited, very, very few and far in between. So I often check in to make sure that I'm moving throughout my day from that place because that's where my power is. And anytime we shift out of it, you're going to do, and you'll find that you're not very successful at, your goals for the day. Um, Anybody else want to add? I do.
I like.
Okay.
You see, that's why you're supposed to pick. You're supposed to pick.
Oh my! I don't know if you all have something. Okay, let's go, Shanice. Tell me.
We all have something. We ain't got no choice.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'll go for that.
Shanice?
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll go. Y'all still can't hear me properly? Like,
No,
We can
yeah.
Yeah, it's still low.
can you hear me good? Still low?
It's
Good.
still a little
I,
low.
ca-
But go
I
ahead.
can't really turn up the mic. It's kind of weird. But I'll try my best to speak very loudly.
Okay.
How I nurture my feminine? That is a very triggering question, to be honest. I get very real with myself most days. Sometimes I run away from it um, because I don't want to accept the fact that I have such power to face. And but most times I find myself meditating once in a blue moon, um, because you know, as a powerful person mentally, it's a pretty intense place to go. That mind of mine. So
Mhm.
I take it in little bits and pieces. I try not to overwhelm myself because with how the mind is, you can literally go into a space and really trip the hell out.
Mhm.
So I take it in doses because I am real with myself. I am not the nicey nicey. I mean, I'm nicey nicey, but y'all know me. I keep it real. Saran, I keep it real. I
Mhm.
speak my mind. I try my best to avoid people so that I don't step on anybody's toes because I've been speaking too real sometimes. It's just too much.
Me too, girl.
Mhm. Okay,
Uh-oh.
she froze up. Okay, so Shanique, take it. Ashanti, you froze.
See?
Oh, okay, she's coming back.
You guys
Yeah.
still hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
They don't lost me.
We can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, the internet just dropped out. Y'all know how that's how it is. I, but yeah, I try my best. I try my best to be very honest with myself and real with myself. Um, whatever emotion comes up. I do not stop any emotions from coming up because sometimes I guess I mistook what nurturing is. I have to always be soft and pleasant and nice and um, but sometimes that's not the emotion that comes up inside of you. And when things show up, you need to actually ask, why is that? You have
Yes.
to accept every emotion that's coming your way. And I used to think something's wrong with me if I felt a kind of way, or trying to be the bigger person, but I don't really want to be the bigger person. And it's things like that. Just allowing myself to be human is something that I do now. And whatever
Mhm.
shows up, I just flow with it. That's
I
how I
hear
deal with
that.
it.
Shanique, what you got?
So those who know me know that I really love myself. Like I talk that talk and I walk it. I talk so nicely to myself. Whereas, but I'm very real with myself. But I tell myself, girl, you look good. You're so smart. Your skin is so soft. I make sure I speak nicely to myself. As much as I check in with myself and reflect with myself and make sure, because we all can be off balance sometimes. So, but I take nurturing into myself of how I lotion myself. When I lotion my skin, I make sure I do it with love. Even when I bathe my skin, I make sure I do it with love. What I eat,
Mhm.
I make sure I put love into my body. I love the feeling of when I exert a lot of energy. And so I do that. I keep my body moving. That makes me feel super connected and high vibrational. So
Mhm.
that's how I maintain my femininity, by keeping things that's just keeping me feel nice and feeling in love. And even when I check with myself, I allow myself to feel those emotions, allow myself to be angry, allow myself to cry, get opinions from other people, allow myself to get mad. And then I speak nicely to myself again and remind myself that I'm a human and I'm still that girl. You know what I mean? No
Ma'am.
Yes, I love on myself every day. I think that that is super important. And I love myself through all my stages, when I'm feeling sad, when I'm feeling like I'm not looking my most attractive, even when my face is breaking out. Like, I just try and love on
Mhm.
myself. The more love you put into yourself, the more feminine I feel.
Yes, 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 yes. So the next question, I mean, Shanika talk the talk. There's a shortage of that loving on yourself. And for that reason, a lot of us tend to go about our days barely making it through because there's not a lot of outside validation for the average person. Oh, you look good and you're smart and you're wise. That's seriously something that you have to cultivate for yourself. And so it is so, so vital because we end up questioning our power, questioning our abilities, questioning our purpose, because we're not telling ourselves, we're not affirming that in ourselves. So anyhow, Janosha, I got a question for you. So we spoke about, the masculine and feminine balance. What do you think about catering to your man?
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, you're muted. Oh gosh, keep that juice for us. Wheel and come again.
I would think that's no problem. I have no problem catering to my man. I love it. I love the idea of nurturing him, making sure that he's good, making sure that he's groomed when I can get to it, and or when both of us have the time to get to that. I enjoy cooking for my man. Anything to make him feel like a man. I have no problem doing that. And even helping him, whenever he's doing certain tasks, I'm like, okay, come on, let me help you. Let me make this job a little bit easier for you. So, we can go home and have some time for ourselves after we put the kids to sleep. So I have no problem. I love doing it.
Oh, lovely. Ashante, you go next. Catering to your man, sister.
Oh, that's a natural. Well, he makes it easy. So, how should I put this? When I cater, or how I would say catering to my man is a yes. I kind of flow into it. I don't know how not to do it. Mostly because I am very nurturing, and whatever he likes, I want to know what he likes so I can give it to him. Anything. Like, I am a pleaser because it pleases me. And I'm not ashamed. It is
You
what
should
it is.
be. Don't
Anything he wants, I will do it. Because he will
Imagine some of the feminists tuning in now. Like, gotta get out of here.
and look, and the beauty about it is that when you give them, they want to give you 10 times over.
Sure not.
And
Yes.
I'm winning. So let's
Soft power. Yes, ma'am.
and especially if he knows about the same thing, if you're on the same level. So we know if we pour into each other, it benefits us rather than it's a selfish thing. So like there's no male or female task in our relationship. He loves cooking more than me, so guess what? He wants to feed me all the time. And I am not mad at that, I wash clothes, I'm not folding that shit. He's gonna do that because he likes it. It really comes down to what do you like? What do you not like? And then if, let's say, again, I don't like folding clothes, he would do it. He likes to sit down and watch TV and do it. And catering sometimes doesn't exactly mean like just sexually, but like how do you show up for your partner? Like, if he wants you to cuddle him and spoon him, that will happen because sometimes men like that shit too. And we as women, we know how good it feels to be babied. Men like to be babied too.
Hello.
That's right.
Balance. Balance.
So
I hear that.
yes, and more yes to that.
Good stuff. Empress, what you got? Nadine, tell us.
You're putting me on the spot right now.
More that to come.
Let me just say, I totally agree with Ashante. Everything she just said. Keep it moving.
Somebody in your
It's
perimeter
space.
right now. Go right ahead, Shanique.
Well, I don't have a king right now.
Ooh.
I've been on a celibacy journey for about 2 years now, but I cannot wait because I'm saving myself for somebody who I can cater to because that's really what I want to do. I want to just give myself to somebody and just melt in their arms and just, I just want to have that partnership so that I can just be like, anything you want. Like, you know what I mean? I want to feel it. I want to feel so devoted to you that that's what I want to do. And until I feel that way, I'm just keeping to myself because why half play it? You know what I mean? I don't want to half play it. I want to give you the world because I know you can give me the world, and I want to be spoiled, so I'm going to spoil you, and I know how good my love feels, and if you feel that, I know what I can make you do that will just make me so much more prosperous, and not even just money but just everything, the energy. Once I'm giving you this energy, you're going to give me 10 times back. Everything is just going to flow so much nicer, and I'm just going to be so much happier because you're happier, because I'm just for
I
you.
say, I say, I say.
Oh my gosh, Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. For the kings who are watching the live, they probably said, where find them girls there?
We did say it was gonna be
My
fire.
God. Lord, I'm in complete agreement with everything that was said. Everything. I think it's so important for us not to become ashamed
Yeah.
at really voicing that type of thing. Like I said before, the whole notion that it's a submission thing or that it's somehow an act that's beneath you when you say cater to your man. Not because we say cater to your man means that the man not catering to you. And that's the reciprocation. But because we don't talk about nobody's around the place saying, oh, a man should cater to his woman. Nobody really talks about that. So we only think about it from one lens, but the truth is, it balance. You give to get, you get and you give it back,
Yes.
um, love it, love it, love it, love it. So now we kind of touched the surface a little bit. Nadine, you're probably going to get a hole to climb into shortly because the next topic is sexuality.
Ooh.
And let me see some messages on Zoom. One moment. I don't want to miss no questions. Okay, so sexuality, you know, based on how we were all raised, there's a lot of stigma attached to women and sexuality and us being almost sexual objects in a sense. And so because we're touted on the advertisement in terms of being very sexual, it's a particular aesthetic, so you have to look a particular way, you have to make sure you please your man sexually and that type of thing. So my question is kind of a little twist on it. Because oftentimes we will notice that in our minds we've remembered or rehearsed the different things that we've seen in commercials and things like that, and so we tend to think that we have to also fit into that mold. Okay, and so if you don't fit into the mold in terms of how you look, your approach to sexuality might actually be very different. So queens on the panel, tell me, how do we as women, regardless the shape, size, color, whatever, how do we enjoy our sexual experiences as women?
Let me just jump in.
Jump.
What I have to tell the queens listening, you just gotta be yourself. Don't be fooled by the adverts and all of the things that they create for women to do and how they should behave. You gotta be yourself. And once you be yourself, everything will just fall in line. Stop forcing things. Stop trying to please people that don't even know you or know anything about you. When it comes to your sexuality, be yourself. Do what you enjoy, do what you love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Shanique, tell me.
Well, I'm a very, very sexual person. I've been a sexual person since I've known myself. Like, even as a kid, I was always just like, oh my gosh, like this. But and when it comes down to it, like, I lost my virginity at a late age. And even the celibacy thing, when people hear like it's been 2 years, they're like, what, you? And I'm like, being sexual does not equal to being promiscuous. And that's one thing that a lot of people get confused. I can be completely comfortable in my sexuality because a lot of times people who aren't comfortable, they're being dishonest with themselves. They want to fit a box, just like you were saying. They're not allowing themselves the freedom because being sexual feels good. Being sexual also nurtures my femininity because I will be in my apartment by myself, booty naked,
Yeah.
dead good, like, oh, all by myself. You understand? All by myself. I love it. I love it. And I encourage everybody to do it. You can find a lot of truth about yourself when you're honest with yourself about what you like and about what you don't. And there is a power that comes from being honest with it and owning it. There's nothing you should be ashamed of because when doors are closed, either people are a whole different person or they're never truly satisfied because they're lying to themselves about their sexuality. I'm not going to do that. Sorry. You understand? I'm going to own it. I'm going to speak about it. I love to hear about it, write about it, talk about it, everything. It's such an interesting and deep topic because it has so much to do with ourselves at our core, but we don't even take the time to realize. So I love it. I'm all for it.
Oh boy, Shanique, we have so much in common. You have no idea. Okay,
I
so
love to hear that, Saran.
I'm sure you would.
True.
Let's just say, Shanique's 2 years. My let's just leave it at that. But I do recognize that, and I think both of you kind of touched on it. Being free is an important ingredient for having a delightful sexual experience. That's just
If
what
I
it
can
is.
interject when
Being
you
free
guys
in your
are
body, being free in your mind. And let me just, yeah, make
I want to
sure
interject when
that
you're
you're
done.
laying in bed with
Oh,
the person that you're supposed to be in bed with.
okay.
That's like foundation. Be there first, you know? And once that's covered, yeah, it's about liberating yourself and being completely free in the moment. No judgment about what you look like, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to sound, and all, all the
Mm,
different things that we often get bogged down by. But yeah, be free. But yeah, like I said, foundation, make sure it's a match, you know?
yes.
Um,
Can I
doesn't
interject
mean
on that?
that you having a
Can you guys
match
hear me?
doesn't necessarily. Ooh, go ahead,
Can
Ashanti.
you hear me?
Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so the question was about sexuality, right?
Yes.
Um, I can say from my experience on
Ooh,
planet
can
Earth.
you can talk louder? I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It is
That's all good.
definitely my headphone, but I'm gonna speak
Okay.
louder. So when it comes to sexuality, in my end of this spectrum here, I've experienced sexual trauma from a young age, and most persons would maybe shy away from sexuality or they become hypersexual. And for me, I became a little bit more on the hypersexuality side to somewhat, well, after therapy, knowing that I basically did that because, sex was always sacred in my eye as a little girl. And then, I basically say, oh, well, sex is not that important now. So whatever happens, whoever, it's not even that serious, Never cared to be married, never cared to have a relationship that serious. It was not that serious because of my experience through trauma.
Yeah.
Now, doing the healing and, identifying these things that happened, and one thing was when I started to discover the divine feminine, and something that we all missed, because I was always like, yeah, sex is amazing, I'm free with sex, and I don't have a problem just expressing myself sexually. I'm not uncomfortable to talk about sex and all these things, forgetting one aspect about sex, going back to divine feminine soft power, the power of sex, the power of the pussy. What is the purpose of our womb? Not just, okay, we're born with it and it's just a thing, but when you really dive deep into what is sexuality from a woman's perspective, girl, y'all have me getting goosebumps right now, because this is the first time I'm sharing it with panelists of women. I speak to my hubby about it. It's a discovery that I made when I found my partner. And when you find the right match, I'm strong on this, you have to be careful with who you let in and who you choose to let in to your body.
Hello.
And it's not even about, yeah, I'm celebrating, I'm celibate for XYZ time, because you could be celibate and then get the wrong partner, and
Hello.
turns your world upside down. It has nothing to do with how long you've been sexually active or how long you've been celibate. It has to do with you knowing what is the purpose of your womb. Why do you have this? What is a womb? And what is the power that lies within that? And as simple as it is, the power of a woman, we create babies in a womb.
Life.
And that's just
Humans.
Life, a whole
that
life.
is just one. That's one single thing. A woman has the power to just sit with herself, with her womb, and manifest anything.
Anything.
Anything. What you say goes. Like, and if you knew that your life was based off of who you had sex with and your thoughts while you had sex, you would be so careful on what you do going forward. And
Yes.
it's so broad. This topic is so broad. And
Yes.
I tell you, this can be a conversation by itself.
Yes.
It is. And a lot of women, we weren't taught to really know our body. You know why? Because they know a woman's power is so scary to men that are not ready for it. When a woman meets a man, a king, and he knows what a woman's purpose is, when a woman and a man come together and choose to come together, it's not even about sex. It's about creating kingdoms. It's about creating powerful generations to come. It's more than just, how many times can you make me come? It's not even about that. It's way more than that. It's how am I healing you? What are you adding into my body? And how am I helping you? It's literally like baptism every time you have sex.
Hello.
Every time.
You gotta
stop. I'm gonna stop. So, this is the first time I'm having this conversation, because I've really been secluded from a lot of people for a while because I'm doing my healing. But if we realize that, like, just make a stripper woman down naked and make her look at her vagina, some women cannot even look at their vagina.
True.
They're scared of it. And, like, they just lay there and just take sex. Like, all they're doing is thinking about the nut, like, how can I come? I just want this man to make me come, or something like that.
Or how can I get some money out his pocket?
Or how you can get some money. And let's not even talk about how you're having sex for free. Come on. Come on. Like, it's not even about that trivial shit. It's way deeper than what you can possibly imagine. And I guess maybe some men just nice and polished or whatever. And you may, sometimes I wish that people came and showed up in your life with what they are and what they're carrying. Because trust me, you will lie down with half the people on them that you choose to lie down with because they showing you straight up.
Girl.
Straight up who they are. And you would not
You
know.
know what? Look, like I said, this can be a topic in and of itself because
We need
there's
to do
so
that
much.
again. We need to do this again.
Yeah.
You know what you got, Queen?
Listen, everything like you said, this is a topic that can go on and on. But one thing that I wanted to with
Okay, one moment there. Love Zoom went mute.
Aw, so they missed all that golden stuff?
No, just a few minutes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They got you live and direct and they were commenting too. Truth. I think I saw everyone was muted. Yes, no audio on Zoom. Oh man. Sorry. Y'all know how that stuff go at times.
Technology.
Okay, your host. But I was muted. Sorry about that, Queens. There's so much we can say about that topic, right? It's not funny. Okay. Unmute. Okay. Live. I think that's it. I'm back, right? So, yes, Janosha, spill the juice.
yeah. Well, when I think of sexuality in myself, there are different aspects, just like the traumas or the ideas that we had of sex growing up, or how we had it misconstrued as teenagers, just based off of our emotionals and our emotional feelings and hormones at that time. That was just There was a lot of blurs, you know what I'm saying? But one way that I can always remember being in touch with my side is through movement, the way that I dance. I remember a lot of grown-ups saying as a child that I they used to call me tiny whiny because the way my waistline moved was
Hello, I agree with them. And I see why.
Oh no, she's still tiny whiny.
Genosha's one. There's a teenage boy who comes to the aerobic class, and this is what he does when Genosha waistline let go.
but
Yes, go ahead.
The way that I moved my body or the way that I moved my waist was just something that was natural, but it always reminded me of something sexual. And if we think back, we go back into history, the feminine divine or powerful women use their waist and movements sort of as a mating call to attract their mate. So that was something for some people that can be natural. If they get in tune with the way their body moves, they can feel that sexual energy, or they can even heal themselves through moving by themselves. It doesn't always have to be you doing this for someone else. We can find that by moving our body, moving our waist, moving our arms, feeling loose, stretching. That's one way to get into our sexuality.
Look, hello, and look at the versatility. You know what I'm? Oh gosh, Lord, we have to do a second round on sexuality itself.
Oh
it almost pains me to move on because there's so much that we can add.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
What are the comments? What are the comments like?
Yeah,
okay, let me see what's going on. And then we can't see Facebook. Oh boy, let me.
But
Yes,
Karen, let me
they
just put
they're
in
pretty
here.
much in agreement that it's for purpose.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
it's
Karen, let me interject. Growing up, and I think it's still somewhat that way with our parents and everybody, they have sex as this bad thing. Nobody wants to talk about sex. If you hear the word sex or if you say the word sex, it's like, oh, what are you talking about? It's like you
yeah,
make it seem like it's the worst thing ever.
yeah,
And I think it's still happening up to today. And I tell women that I meet that have children, don't grow your children that way. Don't be afraid to talk to them about sex. You have to get them interactive about this so they're not lost in the confusion that is created by society.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you don't define it,
Yes,
somebody else will.
exactly.
And a lot of women don't use, young girls don't even know how to wash their vagina. They
Yes,
don't even know how to take care of it. They don't, because like sex was speaking so freely in my family, like everybody's like me. And so I was, when it came to losing my virginity, I could talk about those things. And I wasn't in a rush because I wasn't curious about what it was, because I was educated about what it was.
Yeah,
I was educated to pee after and to do all these things. These young ladies right now, they're suffering with so many infections and all this stuff, and they just don't know who to talk to.
facts,
Because
facts.
it's so
And I
taboo,
think,
forbidden
and
conversation.
and that's because they're not being taught at home. They're not, nobody's telling them. So they're eager to experience things, they're eager to try things,
Yeah.
and then
mhm.
Well,
they're led down the wrong path.
we
Yeah,
have
and
to
I would
understand that
also
it's
add,
from
go ahead.
like the parents don't even know. So how can they teach something they don't know?
And I was just
True,
about to say that.
true
It's,
that.
Can,
you
they
know, we will
can.
say, oh, young girls. No, I interacted with a queen about 2 years ago, and she had no idea that we had two holes down there. So it's not an age thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
But
exposure,
it's
it's
big. It's
awareness.
yeah.
yes, yes.
You know. Oh gosh, lordy, lordy. Okay, so the next question. Hmm, let's segue a little bit out of sex, just a tad. And the next question is, what would be two advice that you would give to any woman watching, tips in terms of her wellness, her overall wellness? Could be related to sexuality, of course. Just two tips. If you had to pick just two. I know there's so much that we can share. But okay, Shanique, we're going to start with you, baby.
All right. I would tell them the same love that you have for yourself, the same love that you want somebody to show you, put that same love into yourself. That's the first thing. Like sometimes I'm about to eat something bad and I'm like, I I don't want this for my body. And I will just reject the food one time. So if you what you want people to do to you, do the same onto yourself. And also be patient with your wellness, because all these transitions, even from meat eating to plant-based eating and everything, it's not
Mhm.
something that you have to hurry up and do. It's not a trend, it's a lifestyle, and it is going to test you. It is going to be complicated, but once you have consistent feeling of what it's like to be healthy and have a healthy body and move healthy, you're never going to want to stop. But it has to stick, and you have to be patient with yourself. Move
Yes.
with grace.
Yes. Lovely. Ashanti, what you got for us?
Whew, this is a big question again.
Yeah. Two
Um,
wellness tips.
I'm a wild woman, or I consider myself to be a wild woman, and I. This is not really. I guess it's a tip, but it's kind of like I'll explain it. We as girls, and we've been brought up to be timid, um, shy, don't be seen. Girl, fill up that room. Like, be
Take up
big.
all the space.
No
Yeah.
make nobody make you feel like you have to suppress yourself to be liked. We're not trying to be liked. We're trying to be free. We're trying to be ourselves. So be wild.
Mhm.
Whatever it looks like to you. It it's nobody's business. And this is a spin-off to that. I know most of us are trained to be prepared for marriage or prepared for a good man. The right man needs to know who the real you is. And keyword, the right man needs you to be you. And
Yes.
that basically ties into stop trying to fit into what society have us or need us to be who you know you are, and be unapologetic when it comes to that. And you can move flow because that's. I mean, as cliche as it is, most of us here want a king. We want our partner. This is natural. And next, be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to feel every emotion. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to be sad, mad, because that's the thing. You could be sad and mad together. Um, Allow yourself to let go of the idea of who you think you should be and just be. Like, just flow. That's what it means to be the divine feminine that you are destined to be. And that's my advice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Janosha, tell us two tips. Any tip? You're okay. Oh, you're breaking up.
You
Wait.
know you're breaking up, but we can't hear you.
Can, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay. I was saying, of course, the first tip is going to be about moving your body, not just because
I
I'm
knew it was coming.
not just because I'm an instructor, but literally because, for me, I'd say moving my body is an outlet of releasing anger, releasing stress, and it doesn't have to be just dance. It could be any movement, getting up, going for a walk, going swimming, running, moving your body, putting life in your body. I'd say when I'm not moving, I feel like I'm dragging myself, and like my body calling for me to put more energy. That's definitely.
Oh, you're going in and out, Queen.
Oh
You
You might want to go closer to the internet box.
no, I'm very close. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we can hear
Oh
you loud.
We're not
yeah.
gonna call out no providers tonight.
Oh, God. Yeah. And another tip is just practicing more self love, especially as women. Um, if we know we have things that have been causing us to remain unhealed, we have to work on it. We have to take
Pull your
time.
face into focus, Queen. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
there we
we have
go.
to take
Yeah.
we have to take time to really, nurture ourselves, nurture our minds, our souls, eat the things that we know will put more life and just bring more value to our lives. So self-love,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yes. Nadia, Nadine.
Well, I'm gonna start with food.
You have what?
I'm going to start with food.
Okay.
You are what you eat.
Hello.
You are what you eat. And
Real thing.
I've seen some queens. Oh, they cry about the pain in the body, especially during the menstrual cycle. And when I tell them their main problem is how they eat, they're like, "What do you mean? How I eat? What you put
Yeah.
in is what you're gonna get out." So if you
Hello.
eat the fries and the chicken and the oil, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it in
Right.
pain. And with that, I'll just say love on yourself. Because if you don't love on yourself, you can't love on anybody else. You gotta give yourself that love. Doesn't matter what, you have to take time out. Most of the queens that I see, they're always too busy. They're suffering, but they're always too busy. They're always
Yeah.
working. They don't have time. I'm like, you gotta make time because the job is not gonna tell you take a day to love on yourself.
True. True. I mean, I love it. I love it. For me, I kind of piggyback off of what Shanique said. Be very quick to forgive yourself. Be very, very quick to forgive yourself. You've messed up, and especially for those who have done the detox, that's my mantra. Be quick to forgive yourself. Like Shanique said, sometimes your journey is not a quick or swift one. And sometimes when you intend or you plant a particular intention for yourself and you don't stick to it to the letter, we beat ourselves up. And it's so unnecessary. Be quick to forgive yourself, be quick to forgive others as well. And I mean, that's another thing that we can go on and on with, but you forgive for yourself. There's a lot of freedom and liberation that comes when you no longer have to carry that burden with you. And I think for any woman, being that we're magnetic by nature, if you carry a lot of resentment and guilt on yourself or for others, you're going to feel it. Everything that you do will always have a ceiling that you cannot break through unless you free yourself that way. So that's one. And then I guess kind of tying into that, Nadine, food would have been, but elimination. And this is more than just eliminating the waste that we carry around in our bodies, eliminating the unnecessary emotions that we carry, all of that. It's easy for us to just become so, we normalize constipation like nothing. And just like how we're physically constipated, we're emotionally constipated as well. It affects us in so many different ways. And so elimination for me is huge. Be quick to let go, release the things that are not serving you, release some people just haven't gone for the week. Waste. Carrying around waste for an entire week in your physical body. And there's no way you can tell me that a person who is chronically constipated isn't constipated here as well. We just have a problem choosing to let go certain things. So anyhow, yeah, those are my 2 tips.
And
so
even with the letting go, going off, when I tell females, even that contributes to them having bad cycles. You're not going off enough. All of that. You're full of pain. Yeah. And they'll be like, no, that can't be. I'm like, yeah.
You know what? Let's segue right into that. Let's talk about your cycle, your moon cycle, your menstrual cycle, your period, whatever we call it. Yeah, what do you have to share with the people? I know, vagina steaming helps a lot. I'm just saying. Empress Yoni Love, care to elaborate?
We need to take the myth, the bad talks away from steaming, because people will go on Google and Google would fill them up with, oh, if you do a yoni steam, you're going to get a yeast infection. After you kind of give something that you already have, queens. You already have it.
When you understand what it is, then go ahead.
Exactly. It's about cleaning. It's all about cleaning your womb. It's cleaning yourself as a woman. Now, if you as a woman, you're experiencing painful menstrual cycle, we have females with fibroids, we have cysts, we have STIs. The list goes on. It's so long. Saran, you know this.
Yes.
And we go on the internet and we think, oh, that's not going to help anything. But you cannot tell me you're going to bash something that you haven't tried. You have had that recurring yeast infection forever. You have been going to the doctor and getting, I'm not trying to bash anybody here, getting them antibiotics that even causes the yeast infection as well. And you're afraid to try something natural. That doesn't make sense to me.
And Queens, I know the topic was not vagina steaming. So I just want to go in on this. Because in terms of handling your cycle, there's a lot more outside of that. So I do want to give everybody an opportunity to share on that. However, it would be remiss of me if I don't jump in right here, Nadia. And you see, the thing is, we want to look at Google for certain things.
Yes.
how about it's a practice that existed before the internet existed?
If so long,
And
so long.
you know, the interesting thing about it, and I often say this, once the West embraces something and they put it on as a trend, it is gonna lose a lot of its essence.
Yes,
Right now, there's the movement for persons who are into yoni steaming. They're selling plastic vessels
yes,
for you
yes.
to put hot water and herbs in
Plastic.
plastic. Plastic.
Think about what
Yeah.
that's doing to the
Think about
womb.
that. And not only is it plastic, it's usually pink plastic.
Yes,
Pink. And you're going to add heat to that, and you're going to open your most sacred flower over that and allow that, all of the chemicals, all of the toxins to go right up in there. And
yes,
then if you have an impact, then you discount the entire practice that has been around for thousands of years.
yes,
You know,
yes.
sometimes the things that we do without really thinking consciously, it amazes me. So for the queens who are on the call, please know that steaming is not a new trend. Because, you know, once America or whoever started talking about it, we tend to think it's new. It's, you know,
Yes.
this, this
But
existed
Saran,
long before
let
we
me
did.
not let me not forget the kings. I have to jump in here.
Yes.
Yes. Society, oh my God, it's ruining the people because males nowadays are afraid to take care of themselves. I would tell a king about a steam, and they were like, "Oh, nobody's touching down there. I'm not touching anything. I'm just helping you heal through steaming." And everybody, they don't want to take care of themselves, and it's labeled as gay, put it, and they walk around with so many issues that
Hemorrhoids.
hemorrhoids, yes, so many things, and they're suffering in silence. The kings suffer in silence.
Yeah.
Erectile
Yeah.
dysfunction, low sperm count, all of these things, they suffer in silence. But kings, you're listening to me. Empress Yoni Love will take care of you. And Saran, of course, as well. We got the things. We are not going to judge. We're not going to criticize you in any way. We're just going to love on you and help you take care of you.
So, for those who don't know, I do sell steams, and I used to provide the service. I no longer do. I do sell the steams that you can do at home. However, I encourage everybody. You see that self-love thing that Nadia spoke about. Sometimes you do need to pay for a service and get it done. And when you're thinking about doing that, there she is.
Empress
This is
Yoni
she live
Love.
and direct. And another thing I just want to add on to the whole vagina steaming conversation. Isn't it interesting that we are the mothers of civilization, right? The mothers. But you
Yes.
can barely point to anything that gives us direct credit. You understand? When you go on Google, it will tell you, oh, it's an ancient Chinese practice. It's an everybody gets credit for
Indian.
everything. It's as if
Yes.
we started this whole thing and we just never did anything.
Yes.
I know it's an ancient African practice.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, and
Back.
we you know, once they create the narrative that they want to push, we will never get credit for it. You know,
Yeah.
but it comes from us. So let us not think about it because you heard about it 2 years ago. Google don't know nothing what your grandmother used to do.
I know, right?
All right. So
Are the
anyhow,
minority.
yeah. So go ahead, Queens, Janosha, what you got in terms of tips for your cycle?
For my cycle, one,
Ooh.
Breaking up.
can you
You're breaking up, love.
How is it that we were hearing you when you were outside, far away?
Exactly.
How can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying a tip that I would say that women should look into is noticing your emotional changes throughout the month. leading up to your cycle, right after your cycle, looking into that because 2 weeks before your cycle, you have a lot of energy. You have energy to um, so when it comes to working, when it comes to being in the home, and the week before your cycle is when you start to slow down. And you're like, why do I feel like this? Why am I dragging my body? I don't understand. But if you're not paying attention, you would see that your body is starting to shed inside and, preparing itself for that time, which we really should be taking to slow down, to look
Yes,
within ourselves,
yes,
to just really understand what our body is experiencing, especially the emotional part, because we get a lot of PMSing, and that also has to do with the food that we're eating. So, right before our period, we should say, okay, I know I'm craving these sweets, but once we start with the sweets, um, that's gonna give you a hormonal imbalance. So we really have to pay attention to just how our body or the changes our body goes throughout the month, especially leading up to that time.
Very, very true. Very true. Ashanti, give us.
Oh wow. I like how we're talking about we're not getting credit for the practices that we've um our ancestors have already started many years ago. One thing I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to Kemetic practices back in the day, when a woman is on her period, we're not supposed to be doing anything for as long as the cycle. We are supposed to be in rest. And, our society does not honor this. And they make us feel like we're gross. We're not supposed to be touched. We're not supposed to be loved and nurtured in the most intense time of a woman's life, you know? And it's for us women to introduce this back into our culture. I see some persons are making a movement of pass the pad, where there's period poverty. And do you realize how much it is for you to get free condoms, but something that happens naturally in a woman's body, we have to pay for a pad, we have to pay for all these things that we need for something that's natural, you know? And that's crazy. That's crazy to me. So immediately, once a woman or a girl is now a woman, society attacks us for being a woman. And what are we as women doing to demand, not ask, demand that we are honored and nurtured based off of something that is like by law, native law, something that has to happen, or else the world literally stops. If this
Yeah.
does not happen, the world literally
That's it.
stops.
No
Human
future.
nature is dead. Like, and it blows my mind. Like, how do we treat women that give birth? And it really goes deep, girls. It really goes deep. I'm passionate about this too. Like, they hype up the baby mother culture. They hype up the idea of single mother. Like, I don't know if people know, when you repeat something constantly, it manifests.
Yeah.
And it's like they want the culture on black people to have broken homes, women that are struggling, and we're the poorest society because it stems back down to we are not honored when we are on our periods. We are not worshipped, we are not taken care of because we don't understand what it means to bleed. And we as women don't even know how important it is for them to give us 5 days off from work to go lie down home and bleed and be nurtured. So I love that y'all talked about the steaming and stuff because that's one aspect of it. And knowing that, I did the journey with being a sacred goddess, and one thing in the book that stood out to me is that the womb is a memory bank. And it's not just about just the consecration.
yes,
That's one aspect of it.
yes.
How many things are you holding in your womb?
What are you carrying?
Yeah.
What are you carrying? And what comes out of the womb is what we have within our heart, our
Yes.
soul, everything, our DNA, everything. And when a woman understands again how powerful and what her womb is for, then she will know, nay, nay, no man gonna be in here, because then you will notice your period change. If you get
Yeah.
a wrong man inside you, your period will change.
Yes.
And we talk about this, and change the period, this is normal. And who you align yourself around when it comes to women. Women can change a cycle. We
Yes.
suck up energy. We
Yes.
suck up energy.
Yes.
So it's for us to now know and understand the power of the womb and everything that comes with it. So, yes, I'm very passionate about the period because it's something that this is the biggest pandemic we have going on. To hell with Corona and all that shit. Like, this is the biggest pandemic. This is the biggest one. And until we fix this shit, we will have constant agony and pain. Alice, cis, fibroids, nothing will stop. Nothing will stop until we fix this shit.
Fact.
And women, we the only people that can fix this shit is the woman
It
in the
does.
mirror.
Yes.
Literally. You can't
Truly.
look at no other woman and say, me need Nadine to come and help me. No, no, no. It starts with you. It starts with you looking in the mirror because Nadine doesn't know everything that happened in your womb.
Yes.
She cannot go in and see what is there. She can assist.
Mm-hmm.
And all women can assist other
Yes.
women.
Right.
But it's for us as women, and I'm calling out everybody on this life to do the work. And until you fix your womb, your life is going to be in shambles. As
True.
cute
That's
and
right.
nice, no matter how nice your skin glow, no matter how much nice shoes and clothes you have, once you
Mm-hmm.
still have things in your womb, once you're bleeding, maybe dark brown, or you have 7 days plus of bleeding, you're
Mm-hmm.
something wrong. Fix that shit.
Preach this. Preach.
Look, hello. Oh gosh, what were we thinking? It's an hour and a half in. 1 hour and a half. We're
We
gonna
gotta
have
do
to,
this again.
yeah.
You gotta do this
And
again.
I just want to say, yeah, we need to talk about that 7 day story. You know,
Yes. I know.
but
Right?
I just want to say, Empress Nadine has a prior engagement planned, and so Empress, tell us what your parting words. We're gonna miss you, but
I'm gonna miss this.
we're gonna have to do a part two. Clearly,
Yes. Yes.
there's a lot to say, a lot to share.
Yes.
But
Before I
do
leave,
you
I
have
just want to advocate to everybody listening to me. Find time for you. Learn to take care of you. You gotta learn to let go. You gotta learn to heal. And until you heal, we're going to continue to have a messed up society. You cannot give what you don't have.
Mhm.
So we need to start focusing on us. Sometimes you gotta tell the boss, I'm not coming in today. I'm gonna take care of me. Because at the end of the day, if you're not at full capacity, you cannot give. So thank you so much for having me. Oh,
Thank you.
this has been such a pleasure. I look forward to part two in
Yes,
the near
yes,
future.
that's a must.
I am
Peace,
so
queen.
sorry I have to leave, but I must.
Yeah.
Peace and
Peace and
blessings.
blessings. Thank
It's a
you.
blessing.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right.
Bye.
Bless queen. Yes. So Shanique, your cycle.
Yes. Okay. So my cycle. So let me tell you, when I got my cycle at 13, and I used to see my period 3 times a month. I used to see it like constantly. I've always been bleeding, and I had a whole bag of problems, but my period was definitely one of them. And now that I've changed my eating to plant based, I only bleed for 3 days. Now, not only that, but it's what we do with ourselves when we bleed too. So there's so many chemicals in these pads and these tampons and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we need to pay attention to that too, because that will extend not only the length of our period, but the severity of our period.
Yeah.
We're not really supposed to be having crippling periods, and we still should be able to function through them even with the rest. And people are just so comfortable throwing up and having diarrhea and being in such agonizing pain during their period. Your soap, your soap can change that too. If you're having soap with parabens and sulfates in there, that's going to mess up your period. What you use, your pads, your tampons, that's going to extend your period. The heavy foods that you eat is going to extend your period. You have to take care of yourself on your period. And your menstrual cycle, it's a cycle. So, you go through your shedding phase, and then the next week you're gonna feel great, you're gonna feel lively, you're gonna feel awesome. Move with your body, move with the cycle as well. So when you're on your period, allow yourself to rest. And don't try and push yourself. And I've even heard women make other women feel bad. They're like, oh, all I have to do is this, that. I could do that
Take
too.
2 ibuprofen and I'm good. And that
But
type
it's
of
like,
thing. Yeah.
no, if you want to sleep all day, then do that. Allow your body to rest, because it is literally shedding life. And that's really, these are the words that we need to put with the process, because that's what it is. It's not just the period. We are literally shedding life. And so yeah, what you take care of, your soaps can, the people don't understand that the soap you wash can make you bleed for 7, 10 days. They can. You using those pads with all those chemicals and using all this toilet paper with chemicals and stuff like that, that can extend your period. But also when you're done with your period, you have to rebuild yourself as well. And that is with nutrition. So I have a product called Liquid Gold, and it has turmeric and it has ginger and stuff in there that will help build your body up even during your menstrual cycle. But you need to build your body up. So normally after my period, I drink detox smoothies in the morning for like the next 4 days, just to make sure that my body shed all that it needs to, but it's also building back up everything that it's lost.
Yeah.
Because you're losing so much blood, you have to build yourself back up. So those are really the main things. Make sure when you're on your period, you watch what you're introducing your body to on your period. Because I use menstrual cups. A lot of people believe they know what those are, but I think they're the most amazing thing.
Yes.
And they're amazing, and they're
They
economic.
are. The learning curve is the son of a gun.
Yes.
The learning curve is the son of a gun, but once you get it,
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what menstrual cups are, so ask about it if you don't know about it. And then
I actually have. Should I show?
yes.
Let me grab one. Not mine, not mine. I sell menstrual cups. Some people are like, oh,
Yeah, and then also just build yourself up after. Everything that you're shedding, you have to, as far as nutritionally and what you're giving to yourself, you have to make sure you're going to build up yourself. My own personal experience.
And also, I think you touched on it, the 7-day thing. There's nothing normal about that. And I think if we're deliberate about normalizing normal situations, we'd be better for it. We've normalized 7 days. We've normalized heavy, just that's not what we're supposed to be doing. There's a difference between having a cycle and hemorrhaging while you're on your cycle. And that's what a lot of us do. So anyhow, these are the menstrual cups. I know, Keisha, I don't know if you're on Zoom still, but you've always asked me to show what the menstrual cup looks like. It's like that. Oops. Okay, that might be a better angle.
Put it.
Oh. Okay. So
Yeah, that's better.
it has a little tip at the bottom, and it's, it's like a glass. It's flexible. So you can flex it into whatever shape needed in order to insert it. It goes in and then it pops into its position and it catches your flow, and you remove it and you rinse it, you wash it, you clean it, you reinsert. So, when you think about the environmental impact, it's a lot more convenient, and and it's also Um, Depending on your flow, you should be able to go 10 hours. So, it takes out the, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, put it,
Yeah.
that constant thing. So it's not as burdensome as the other approaches. So menstrual cups,
Yeah.
this is what it is. It's made from um,
Silicone.
silicone. Okay, so that's what the cups look like. But again, two things. I have to, it would be unforgivable if I looked at this back and not commented on cleaning. And we all know what that is. And especially in certain um, in certain circles that I think we're all very familiar with,
Yeah.
we tend to label a woman on her cycle as unclean. And when you think about what your cycle is, for a lot of the men who, oh, she unclean and that type of thing, do you realize that was your food in your
Okay.
mother's womb? Like, if we think about it, it was what you ate. It's what nourished you while you were in the womb. And we come out and we're so big and bad now that we can call it being unclean. There's nothing unclean
Dishonoring.
about it. It's a moment for us to rest, like was said, but there's nothing unclean about your cycle. And let's just higher bun that and leave that 2021, please. There's nothing unclean
Ashay.
about it. Nothing unclean about it. And one of the things that I normally recommend, I know for most persons on your cycle, that's when you get your, a lot of people need chocolate, don't self-sabotage. That's what that is. Because we set ourselves up for a rougher cycle if we don't eat well. If you feel like, you do whatever you want for the other days while you're on a cycle, I think it's very important for us to be deliberate about selecting foods that are nourishing, that will nourish you and not cause the ton of bread on your cycle. You're going to be twisting up
Yeah.
in cramps.
Everything that just flows out of you,
Yeah,
which you should
it's
encourage.
the time when we're supposed to eat our cleanest if you want ease and comfort. So anyhow, Lord, look at the time. It's an hour and 42 minutes. Lord, okay,
Let's go for
which
the 2 hours.
one? Let
Let's
me
go for
see
the 2
which
hours.
one because I can't do all.
Let's go for the 2
So
hours and then
yeah. So and the questions are really juicy, people. It's hard to pick, but
you should check the comments, like check in with them and see what's going on.
what are you guys feeling? What are you wanting to hear us discuss? Zoom and Facebook people, what do you guys want to hear? Let me just, there was an interesting one. Okay. So this one is for the kings, a tip for the kings. Okay. So for those who are watching now or for those who will watch in the future, what tip do you have for a king that would cause their woman, their queens to be happier and healthier? What tip do you have for him? Go
I would
ahead,
like,
Shanique. Yeah.
yeah, please heal. Heal, heal.
Oh God.
Do not come to us because the thing is, we're going to heal together because that's the teamwork. But please do not come to me saying, your daddy do you this, past woman do you this, they give me knuckle, but you have to do that because it is. I don't want to hear that. Heal before you come to me. Come whole before you come to me. Or just meet me at where I'm at because I might not be 100% whole as well. But please don't feed me promises or feed good women promises and see, because I find a lot of men love good women because it provides them with nurture that they didn't have in the past. That's really just the trend of it. And it's like, do not let a good woman suffer and maybe put her in now a toxic cycle because you have not healed. You have to be real with yourself and you have to be able to speak to people and be open with your emotions. Because not only that, but when you get into that woman and you release your semen, it is just as toxic. So when her pH starts to get thrown off and you're just like, oh, you're dirty now. No, you did that. Now, own up.
Tell the truth.
You have the power to change, to throw off our pH balance just with the toxicity within yourself. You know what I mean? Just like you want us to have a clean body and a clean aura when we come to provide us with the same. You eat right because your penis can smell bad. You know what I mean? Your balls can smell bad. When you have that itch, that means you have yeast infection. You need to, it's not just women. You have to be in touch with yourself physically and mentally and spiritually, just as you would want your woman to be. That is the only way you will be whole. And
Fire, fire, fire.
a whole woman. I said what I had to say.
Look, hello, Lord, look at this on a playback. So people will be hugely offended. What they say, the truth is an offense, but not a sin, right? Okay, here we go. Janosha, what you got? Tip for the kings.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
A tip for the king, especially those who are in relationships or seeking out to be in a relationship. I'd say yes, life is about this balance, the masculine and feminine balance. But I think before a man decides to get into a relationship with a woman, he needs to know who he is. He needs to know who he is, what he wants from that woman. Just be sure of yourself. Make sure that you are working on that self love, because if you're coming looking for a woman to fill a void for you, it's just gonna make no sense, you know. So really take to know who you are, what you want, what you want to have for yourself, then seek out someone that who you need.
You're breaking up. We're going in and out.
What was the
You
last
got
thing?
the end there. The last sentence.
I was saying before, before you seek out, a woman, just make sure that you'll be able to match that energy, that vibe. So, yeah, that's the biggest part of self-love.
Got you. Ashanti, give it to us good.
I got too much. I got too much to say. This is not a passionate topic. Just as much as you have the feminists, there's a lot of toxic masculinity around.
Woo!
And as you said, it's trending. And I'm not man bashing. It's a matter of, and this actually goes for both sides, both women and men. Before you decide to be with anybody, love yourself first. Know how to love yourself, because we like to dictate what we want somebody to do for us, and we cannot even give ourselves that.
Yes.
And a lot of women, and I see men talk about this, and this is truth. Women do not like men to be soft and come to them with their own baggage. And women sometimes are ready for a, pre-packaged man, and they are not willing to help nurture, which is what we are supposed to do. I know, as a woman that has done the work and we have arrived, we think we cannot be with a man that like a scrubby around the edges. But energy, the soul knows best. That's why we cannot see our king with just our eye, but with our energy. And it's an energy thing. So for us as women, we can be snobbish to men. You understand? Because we've healed and we've reached this part in our journey. But let's flip it. I know this is about men, but it's for everybody. Let's flip it. What if you were in your journey and a man that has done the work comes to you and say, "Yeah, you can be with me," and you could see yourself with him. You can see him helping you to get where you need to be, but then he rejects you just because you're not on his level.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And a lot of men has complained about this, where women feel like they are better. And it's not about that. It's about equality. And when I'm saying equality, I'm talking about real energy equality. So I would unbalance, basically. So you can't expect a man to come fully packaged, because most of the times we are not. And
Yes.
who's to say that we find a man and then, you know, we get triggered? Should this man leave us just because we're triggered by something in our past? It is the same thing. And it comes down, it's not about man, it's not about woman, it's about love and it's about energy. And when we remove the tick, 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 then we now actually take off our clothes, our everything, and come to this person and say, hey, this is who I am. Would you accept this? This is what I want. Are you able to fit this? And if it's not that, you keep it moving because it's not for you. Many of us try to idolize, like, this could be possibly the best partner, but really and truly, that's not for us because we are not being authentic self. And a lot of men are. They have no choice, to be honest, to come as their authentic and vulnerable self. They can't come to you and tell you, me just have $10 in for me bank account. Not that he's broke, but at this present moment, he doesn't have that. And a lot of women chastise and cast men out just because they don't have things. And women, yes, you do that shit. It's
gosh, your girl.
all right. Who to say that this man don't have the right energy to match you to then build millions? Just all you needed was to accept him for who he showed up as.
Yeah.
So my advice to kings are show up as your naked, authentic self. And the woman that accepts you, honor her for choosing you as your realest self. And she's the woman for you. Not the woman that, you know, I'm gonna like the pants that you wear, I'm gonna need you for wear this. No. I don't like the car you drive. No.
Yes.
I don't like the fact that you drive that. No. Like, show up as who you divinely are, your purest form, your ugliest self. And if somebody still loves you in that ugly form, you better honor, you better every day say, yo, thank you so much. Show up, put in the work. It's like getting the job that you didn't think you would ever get. What are you gonna do? Sit back? I'm like, you know, I'm gonna get the job. That's it. You gotta work. And it's a work. It's a constant work. It's a constant every day. We choose each other to be with each other because it is a choice. You do not have to be with somebody. Because at the end of the day, guess what? One of y'all gonna die. And then you're left by yourself. And it's a cycle again. And to know that you don't own somebody, it's just all of us sharing experiences together. And you do not owe this person anything. So you need to just choose to be with somebody rather than you need to be this and that, polished and ready. So kings, naked, authentic,
naked,
you, everything.
Lovely. Oh man, look, part 2 is a must. It's a must. I know for me, my tip to kings would definitely be just like women have, you know, become very settled in our masculine selves. Same is true for the kings. And we must call a thing, you know. Lead with your masculine energy, your divine masculine energy. And recognize that just exactly what Ashanti said. If somebody is willing to accept you in your wholeness, in your imperfections or your shortcomings or like your baggage or whatever issues that you have to still work through, it's important for you to recognize that honoring that woman is a sacred act. And doing that can only improve upon who you are now. You know, I think, I mean, and Ashanti, I can go on the whole, you know, us with our expectations in terms of he has to have money, he has to this. But you're still the boss chick and you're not willing to cook. You're not what you know, so you have your expectations and it's as if it's a one-sided thing.
One more thing, Saran, like I'm bouncing off of what you said. Some men don't actually know what it means to be a divine masculine. Just as some women don't know what it means to be divine feminine. But there's one major tip that I want us to know when it comes to the natural law of things. A woman is whatever a man gives a woman, she multiplies it.
Yes.
And once a woman opens up herself, or like being vulnerable and opening herself to a man, and if a man say, "Hey, I want to manifest this," the woman, he come, you have to. It's she's like a god. It's
The
like a god that you're
portal.
praying. It's
Yeah.
a portal. Once you honor the woman as you honor yourself, and you pour into her, whatever you give her, she will multiply it.
And
Multiply.
I do want to remind the kings, for those who are into religion, um, the heaven is often described as the black hole.
Uh-huh.
The black hole. Just be mindful of the black hole. You
Okay.
understand? And approach it like that. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going down to the gambling shop. You're not going to
Mm-hmm.
the rum store. You're not going on the porch. You're going to heaven. And
Yep.
treat and honor your woman that way, because if you do so, trust and believe it's guaranteed that you're gonna love what you get in return, because
Yep.
everything we get we multiply. You give us that multiplication. Okay.
Exactly.
Lordy, it's an hour and 56 minutes, people. Lord help us. So I don't have any other questions tonight, but clearly we need time to do a part two. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are commenting, they're enjoying the show, they're enjoying the conversation and that type of thing. But I would like for us to definitely take time and do another one, because
Sure.
five of us. I honestly expected, riffs to some extent on certain things. But everything that I'm hearing is reflective of what I think. Every single thing. So that's very beautiful. So, Queens, royalty with Saran. It's supposed to be a whole show.
Yeah.
But now we're nearing the 2 hour mark. So, Ashanti, your parting words for us tonight, sweet queen.
Oh, dear, dear. My parting words to the people out there: love is the answer to everything. Love is the most powerful thing. It is in everything. And love yourself first, because then if you're not able to do that, you are not able to see it in anything else. Heal yourself. Um, and of course, like, can I curse on here? Can I
Go
curse?
right ahead.
Fuck society's narrative and create your own world. Yeah, whatever you think is your world, live that shit unapologetically. Like, mental health is a big thing, and people are dropping like flies right now. Now is the best time to look at yourself in the mirror and see who you are, where you want to be, or just look at yourself in the mirror and like what you see. Not in a narcissistic way, but in a loving
Got
way.
you.
And that's my word for everybody. And thank you, Saran, for having me. It was lit. I had a great time.
Good
It
stuff.
had
Good stuff.
it
I
had
knew
me
it was
having
gonna be
tea.
fine, and that's why I told them get your extinguishers ready, because it's gonna be fire. Man, Janosha, my queen, tell us. Closing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just like Ashante said, I just want to tell everyone that love is the answer, especially loving ourselves, doing whatever we need, taking all the steps that we need to, taking out all the time that we need to get to know ourselves, our true selves, and just sharing that with everyone else. Like, I'm so grateful for this platform, grateful that the collective is raising their vibration, especially in Antigua,
Yeah.
especially here in Antigua. That is so needed for us to dig back into our roots and our herbs, our way of eating, the way of living and loving on our kings, loving on our queens. Like, we need more of this. We need more of this. And I just encourage it. Please keep listening in. Please keep giving us that platform, Saran, to be able to express these things, because we need it. We need it.
For
That's it.
sure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Queen. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm actually goosebumps. I feel, let me just say this. It's women, you know, 5 women. And in this time, there's also that pull, the competitive nature between us, based on, again, the same thing that Ashanti spoke about, those societal narratives, that type of thing where you have to look better, you have to do better, you have to always competing. And it's beautiful, it's absolutely magical that we're all able to get together to share our opinions in this fashion. It's and we all do very similar things. And if we're able to bypass that, it means there's hope for everybody else. I think that the competition between women is something that just needs to go. It needs to be a thing of the past, because together we're able to do so much more. You know, Queen, tell me what you got for closing now. Tell me.
So how I got the slogan. So mine for Cocoa Juice is "Let's get juicy, baby." Because back in the past, I used to feel sick. I used to be low vibrational, and now I feel so rich, so abundant, and so juicy. You understand? So that's really what I want to say. Continue doing everything you can to make you feel juicy, and that's full of life. Be around people who inspire you and that don't drain you. Um, for women, have a cap on your nurturing, whereas you don't over nurture and drain yourself, because that is so possible. We all can relate to that. Just do everything that makes you feel full, regardless of what society says, regardless of what mommy, daddy, whatever expectations of you. Do whatever you do that makes you feel good, makes you thrive, makes you feel like holistically you are on top of the world. Do everything you can to keep a high vibration, because when you do that, manifestation is possible. The life that you want for you is possible. You attract everything that you want. But all those blockages and getting down lower and lower and draining yourself, you're not able to elevate to your highest self. And who doesn't want to be their highest self?
Look,
So,
hello.
thank you for having me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you too. Oh man, I don't even know what should be my parting. Love, like everybody said, love. It's so important for us to know that herbs are powerful. Eating really well is powerful. Doing all your self care, your meditation, sage in your home, making sure your space is, you know, giving life. However, if there's an absence of love, it's all worthless. All of it is for naught. It's so important for us to love ourselves and to love each other. It is more powerful than the herbs, it's more powerful than anything else that we can do. Love. The healing starts with love. And I just want to say special, special thank you. I knew it would be fire, but my gosh, I didn't expect 2 hours plus. But, and then that's with me going through only about a quarter, probably 60% of the questions. So, part 2 is a must. Thank you all so much for joining me on Royalty with Saran. It was indeed what I expected and then some.
Yes, yes.
What you sipping on?
Yes, shit.
I'm finished.
What were you having, Ashanti?
Lemon.
Lemon. Okay. Janosha, what you got?
I was having bay leaf and fever grass.
Okay, okay. Sis, what you have there?
I have some cannabis here.
Good. I have dandelion and kojo root. So that's what I'm sipping on today. Thank you so much, Queens. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude, gratitude for the energy. Trust me when I tell you I'm going to be high for at least the next hour.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for bringing this vibe to me today. Blessings on blessings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll schedule a date for round two, and we will definitely put it out there on all the platforms again. Coco Juice, Shanique, please, if you're not, if you don't follow her, her Facebook page is Shanique Ariel, and her business page is Coco Juice. Joe Lioness, Janosha, please, like I tell you, come and get the full dose. Now, look at them queens, right? Look at Janosha, look at Shanique, and picture both of them working you out. It's not no play thing. Right, so please come out, and of course she has an IG page, Empress Joe Lioness. She doesn't have Facebook now, but again, natural hair care, she got the one for you. If you want your sea moss again, Coco Juice is the way. Okay, Queen Ashanti, thank you for bringing your fire. Where you say warish, I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Of course, you know, Guilty Consumption. She says she launches tomorrow officially. So please pay attention on her social media pages, Guilty Consumptions, and also Ashanti Lindsay. She will have vegan breakfast as of tomorrow. Am I right?
Yes. But you have to
So-
pre-order. Oh, Lord.
Yes, yes. So visit all of the pages, see what everybody does. Queen had to leave early, but it's Empress You Only Love on Facebook, and her personal page is Sweetness Brown Skin. Okay, so please go show support. It's how we survive as a people. It's how we're able to nurture our divine feminine because of people, you know, supporting the businesses and allowing us to fulfill our divine purpose. All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. It was wonderful. I'm full of wonder, full of love, energy, high prayers up, blessings up. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Hey.